This is Darshana Gauchan with your B2B Cambodia Market update for March 21st, 2025. The Cambodia Securities Exchange Index remained unchanged at 413.02. Total trade volume was up with 55,730 shares changing hands at a total value of 338 million real or over $84,500. On the main board, 3 stocks were up. Phnom Penh Water Supply Authority led the market up 0.31% or 20 real to 6,380 real per share, followed by Sihanoukville Autonomous Port, which was up 0.17% or 20 real to 11,920 real per share. Phnom Penh Autonomous Port was also up 20 real to 14,100 real per share. On the downside, Grand Twins International was the biggest loser of the day, down 0.99% or 60 real to 5,980 real per share, followed by Royal Group Phnom Penh SEZ, which was down 0.90% or 20 real to 2,190 real per share. Over on the growth board, DBD Engineering was up 0.96% or 20 real to 2,110 real per share, while JS Land stayed flat at 3,060 real per share. Akleda Bank recorded the highest trade volume of the day with 31,924 shares changing hands at a total value of 233.5 million real or over $58,300, about 57% of Friday's trade volume. Grand Twins International recorded the second highest trade volume of the day with 8,948 shares changing hands at a total value of 53 million real or over $13,000, which was 16% of trade volume on March 21st. Moving on to the exchange rate, the Khmer Real to USD strengthened slightly to 4,005 real per US dollar, while the US dollar index was up to 104.3. Looking at global commodities, oil prices rose on Friday and were heading for a second consecutive weekly gain as fresh US sanctions on Iran and the latest output plan from OPEC Plus producer group raised expectations of tighter supply. Brent crude futures were up 12 cents or 0.2% at $72.12 US a barrel. U.S. West Texas Intermediate crude futures rose 15 cents, also 0.2%, to $68.22 US. On a weekly basis, both Brent and West Texas Intermediate were on tracks for gains of more than 1%, their biggest since the first week of the year. Gold prices retreated as the dollar firmed and investors booked profits after bullion hit 3 successive all-time peaks this week, buoyed by safe haven demand amid trade war concerns and hopes of a rate cut by U.S. Federal Reserve later this year. Spot gold was down 0.4% at $3,033.36 an ounce. U.S. gold futures eased 0.1% to $3,039.60. Bullion was on track for a third straight weekly gain, having added 1.6% so far this week. It hit an all-time high of $3,057.21 per ounce on Thursday. U.S. stock futures fell Friday morning as the S&P 500 tried to snap a 4-week losing streak caused by trade policy turmoil, recession fears, and a rollover in mega-cap technology shares. As of the time of the Cambodian market's closing, futures tied to the S&P 500 were down 0.3%, Dow Jones Industrial Average futures lost 136 points or 0.3%, Nasdaq 100 futures slipped 0.4%. This was Darshana Gauchan with your B2B Cambodia Market update for March 21st. Have a great weekend.